Hello and welcome back to another video here on the Matov FM channel, and welcome to a bit of a unique video in its own sense. Now, I would like to consider myself a bit of a fashion expert. Maybe you'll find out in today's video. And in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the home kits for this season. There is a few that are still leaks. This video is being a bit pre-recorded, but I still think it will be good. The leaks are usually right, and I think it'd be fun to go and get through the rankings. So let's go and get straight into it with the first kit at number 20. I've gone for Fulham. This just looks like a Sunday League kit. It's a very generic, boring kit. I feel like Fulham could have so much more potential with their kits, but it's just not the one, really, is it? Not the best kit, and that's why I've put them down at 20. The less said about it, the better. In at number 19, I've gone for Aston Villa. Is this not just the same kit as every other season? It's a very generic kit. It's very plain, which I guess is a nice thing in its own sense, but I just don't think it's the best kit, really, and that's why it gets down at number 19. I think the colour scheme looks better on some of the other clubs, as you'll see later on in the video, and yeah, it's relegation for Aston Villa and Fulham. Thus far, the team completing the relegation zone is Brentford. Now, Brentford obviously do the scheme with the 2-year kit, which is a very good thing. I think that's a very good initiative. I believe this is their new kit for these next 2 years, because I think it started in the first year they came to the Premier League, with it being their 5th year. Now it's just not too convincing, really. I feel like the design feels all over the place. We've got some kind of patterns going through the shirt, the stripes, and it just looks a bit weird on the sleeves and all up top and all that. I don't know, I'm not sure about this one, really. That's why it completes the relegation zone. That is the relegation zone. We're going to go to number 17, Bournemouth. The Bournemouth it's an interesting one. They've got the black and red stripes. I don't know. I really don't know. I feel like the black is very plain, and then they do all these patterns in the red. I feel like there should be something at least in the black. I don't think that's the worst part, though. The less said about the middle, the sponsor, the better. We'll move on. 17th for Bournemouth there. Into 16th place, I've gone for Man City. This is not a good kit. Let's just put it that way. I feel like Man City have not had some good kits over the past few years. If you remember the treble winning season, that kind of the red details, just it's pretty iconic now because of what they did in it. But come on, it was not that good of a kit. And this one, it's not good at all. It just looks, I don't know what's the way to describe it. It looks childish almost. Not a good kit, and it finds itself at 16th. In at number 15, I've gone for Chelsea. I do quite like this. There's some interesting details to it, in particular the background patterns that you can see. I believe it's Stamford Bridge, if I'm not mistaken. It might be, it might not be. It's a very nice plain kit, but I feel like Chelsea have had some really good kits over the years, and this is not one of the ones up there. It's not one of those, so that's why it finds itself at 15th. I wonder if they'll get a sponsor or not. We'll have to see. In at number 14, I've gone for Brighton. I do like the colour schemes on Brighton's kits, in particular the detail of the Nike tick, how that kind of contrasts it a little bit. But if they were going to add that detail, I feel like it should be all over the kit a little bit more, and it's just not. I feel like these stripes look a bit weird. They don't even get. I assume, or I guess it's intended that they're not meant to line up, but I get what they're doing with the bit in the middle, but it just looks too. It looks like they've used the shapes on Word or something, or MS Paint. Not the best kit, really. Had a bit more potential, but not to be. That's why it finds itself in 14th. In number 13, I've gone for Sunderland. This is another leak. And if this is the actual kit, it's not bad. It's not a bad kit at all. I think the stripes are very clean, how it blends into the top bit of the kit. I think the actual collar looks very nice. I can see a long sleeve shirt player rocking this kit very well, and the badge with the sponsor being in the middle is very nice. Could have a little bit more to it potentially, but at 13th, I feel like some people will put this a lot higher, but 13th is not a bad shout at all for this Sunderland kit. We're moving on to number 12. We're going to go for Arsenal here. I feel like it's once again just another one of those generic kits. It's not too bad. I do like it is quite plain. I do quite like a plain kit that's not got too much going on. I like the detailing of the A all over, but I feel like they could have added a few more letters instead of just the A, maybe even the gunner symbol, something like that. But overall, it's not the worst kit, really. That's why it finds itself in at 12th place. Moving on into 11th place, we've gone for Everton. Now Everton obviously going to be moving into a new stadium. Colour really nice. I feel like it's really nice how it's playing. It just looks, the pattern is an interesting one. I feel it makes it look like a bit of a pyjama top, if I'm honest, but it's not the worst kit in the world. Everton do usually have quite vibrant kits, and I feel like this one is one of those as well. Definitely a nice kit, and it finds itself in at number 11. Time to move on to the top 10 kits, the home kits of this Premier League season. The Premier League always do well with the kits. Starting off at number 10, we've gone for Manchester United. Now, Man United, I feel like their kits have been interesting ones in the last few seasons, particularly last year's, with all those orange details. This one is not too bad. I feel like this is what Bournemouth should have done with their kit on the black detailing. Kind of had what Man United have on the sleeves here. It's really quite nice. I do like the black details that are constant throughout. This is quite a good kit. I feel like the sponsor kind of lets it down a little bit. It should be like a proper Manchester United sponsor, but what can you do really? It's a decent kit, and it finds itself in at number 10. That's probably the highest they'll find themselves all season. Number 9, we're moving on to Leeds United. This is a very nice clean kit. Leeds, I guess it's kind of tough for them to make anything more than a white kit, but I think it's nice. The yellow detailing is prominent throughout. You even see it in the Red Bull sponsor, probably the best sponsor that we will see here. The two balls clashing in the middle there with the yellow detailing. I think that's very nice. It's just a very plain kit. You can't really get too much out of it, but overall it's not the worst that we've seen here. A very nice kit. In particular, I like these details on the sleeves. I'm pointing to the screen as if you can see that, but the sleeves, the detailing on there is very, very nice, and that's why it finds itself in at number 9. In at number 8, next, I've gone for the Tottenham kit that you can see here. Now, I'm a little bit confused with what's going on with the sleeve here. You can kind of see it almost looks like see-through. I'd like to think that isn't, but this is a nice kit. I really like the blue shade that they've got going on. It matches the badge and the sponsor. The red sponsor in the middle stands out. The kit manufacturer is what I was meaning before, but the sponsor in the middle is quite big, but I like the red contrast in the middle. It's a sponsor they've kept for quite a while. I like the grey detailing as well down the sides, and overall it just looks like a really nice kit. Everything complements each other really, really well, and that's why it finds itself in at number 8 on this list. Next, we move on to number 7. It's West Ham. The only player who's modelling the kit throughout this whole presentation is Jarrod Bowen, who's in this lovely kit that we've got going on for West Ham. It looks, if this is like the finish of the kit in terms of like, it's kind of got a glossy finish to it, I think that'd be really, really nice. It's a really nice kit. I think the detailing on the collar and the sleeve stands out. There's not too much going on throughout. I think the plain kits are the ones I'm favouring a little bit more, but there's definitely some interesting kits coming up in the later parts of this presentation. But at number 7, very nice kit. I think it's a standard kit, but I really like the details that are going on, and in particular this finish that we see on it. West Ham in at number 7. Number 6, we have got Crystal Palace. This is a very, very nice kit. I'm a real big fan of the white stripes that they've decided to include. The only thing I can say about it is it feels a bit like the kit you'd make in pro clubs, but I don't think that's discrediting it. I think it's really, really clean. There's not too much overwhelming going on, even with these white elements that we have, and even the contrast on the sleeves down to the hem that you see there, the blue and the red. Very, very nice kit that finds itself in at number 6. Moving on to number 5, we reach the top 5. It is Newcastle United. What a kit this is. We're starting to reach the very, very good kit. Some of them you'd argue even wearable of a kit. This one is very, very clean. The typical stripes, but the real intricate detailing that you see on the outside of those stripes, and the blue that is added into there. This just makes it such a nice kit. You can see what they're doing with the blue with their badges as well. It is a bit of a different shade, but I'm sure it'll match up in the actual games. A very, very nice kit. I really like what Newcastle do with the sponsor, the Adidas sponsor, the manufacturer I should say, and the sponsor in the middle to make them stand out. I think it's really, really good. If you're going to have the sponsor there, you might as well fit it in really nice. This is a good kit. Newcastle kits are always timeless, and it goes in at number 5 back into the Champions League. That kit will go into number 4. It is Nottingham Forest. I feel like a lot of teams or a lot of people would have this kit at number 1. it's a very nice kit. It is a very nice kit. I really like how the badge fits in with the stripes. The stripes are interesting. I just feel like the black contrasts it a little bit. It kind of looks a bit weird how it's done, but it's definitely not a bad kit to say the least. The collar is a very nice addition, and it's not too much going on. Definitely a nice kit in at number 4. Now it's time to move on to the top 3 kits, in my personal opinion. At number 3, I'm going to go for Wolves. Now, when I made this list first, Wolves were so low down, and every time I was like putting the teams together as to where they would go, I kept moving Wolves up and moving them up and up and up. This is such a nice kit. I don't know why I disrespected it at first so much. I knew it was a nice kit. I did think it was a really nice kit, but I put them too low for no reason. You know, once again, it's a really clean kit. They've got a kit manufacturer who's not typical with these teams, but I think they've done a very good job. Clearly, I think the design in the kind of kit design, the pattern is very clean. It's a detail that you might not notice straight away, and I think the thing that does this really well is the black detailing. You know, it just hits really well, and it's so nice contrasting the orange. You know, an orange kit I think can be quite tough to get right, but I think the black detailing does very well on this and makes it stand out in the areas that is really needed to stand out. Overall, a very nice kit. In at number 3, the 2 teams we have remaining are Burnley and Liverpool. Burnley have made it there, and whether or not they finish first, we'll have to find out in a second. The team in at number 2 is Liverpool. Liverpool, very nice kit. This is still only a leak, but this is a very clean kit. It looks like a kind of a retro kit, but still incorporating those modern elements. Very nice. I think the colour looks a bit like a bit more pink than red, but I think the red is definitely still there. I think the detailing, Adidas have done very well with this, incorporating their elements. They do so well with the 3 stripes, and this is just a very clean kit. And probably the most notable thing is the kind of lace that goes around the outside. I think this kit will be good for the team, who I think will go on to become the reigning champions once again. Who knows? We'll have to see. Now it's time for the final kit. You already have figured out who it is. It is Burnley in at number 1. What a kit this is. Many people probably won't realise how nice of a kit this is, but this is absolutely incredible. Where do we start? I mean, the gradient on the kit is probably the thing you'd notice least. Just look at the bottom compared to the top. The contrast in what's going on, the pattern is really nice, but it doesn't overwhelm you too much. And this claret colour that is going on is so nice, as well with the blue. Now usually Burnley kind of have the full blue sleeve. This time it's only on the kind of collars and the hems, and with the sponsor as well, it matches really well. This is such a clean kit. Very impressed with this one. It's nothing, there's not too much like symmetry. I mean, you can see the blue with the 9 there, and then the 6 is a white, but I think they just contrast each other really well. You see on the sleeves and on the collar how the white and the blue contrast, and the badge looking really clean. The sponsor, the kit manufacturer I should say, not too big, and this detailing with the colour all blends in to make what an amazing kit. Such a good kit. And that is that. So there you have it. There is the champion of the Premier League kits for this season. Maybe an away kits video, because the away kits, you never know what to expect with them. They're always changing. Who knows, maybe we'll get one of those out. But if you did enjoy that video, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Premier League season is starting soon, so make sure to go and join the Discord down below. The top link in the description, where we'll be discussing all that goes on in this season. The Fantasy Premier League is also out, and my league will be in the Discord and down below in the description. Thank you for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. I'll leave you with this little tune, and I'll see you all for another video very soon. Thank you. Bye bye.